kangaroos' most watched boxing battles. There is a species that is a symbol of Australia, a marsupial with impressive jumping ability and a moving speed of 65 kilometers per hour. It is one of the strangest and most interesting animals in the world. Historically, this animal was known as a true boxer of the entertainment industry. Humans have brought it to the ring to enjoy thrilling, suspenseful matches. They are champions and can become famous at any moment, reaping huge profits for the voting shows. It's a kangaroo. It lives in the deserts of Australia, as well as adapted to this place. Today, let's go into this large and harsh country to see how kangaroo species live and fight to keep the highest position in the herd. Please click follow and comment your comments down below, and your ratings will help our Animal World channel grow more and more. Now, let's visit the kangaroo's large house in Australia. The desert is inherently a place with a harsh climate, especially if it often changes erratically. The highest temperature can reach up to 43 degrees Celsius. Not everywhere in the desert has water. Water is a source of life, but the arid lands appearing more and more signal a great challenge for having any living creature here. Kangaroos are no exception. Although their bodies have developed to adapt to a stressful environment, the battle for survival is still ongoing. Kangaroos only fight for dominance and mate with the females in the herd. It was not the only and fiercest war. Grey kangaroos and the big legend kangaroos all need water to stay alive. Among these species, the red kangaroo is the one that craves water more than any other animal. It also depends a lot on water for both females and males to produce healthy offspring. But they will need it all from start to finish. When the severe dry season lasts, and if the temperature throughout the body reaches 100 degrees Celsius for 1 week, the male kangaroos can become infertile. If it lasts for about 3 months, the number of infertile individuals will double. The females may cut off their milk supply to protect their individual lives. The maternal instinct is not as great as the survival instinct. It must live so that the next generation of kangaroos will have a better chance to see dawn. Although sometimes fighting this hot weather is like standing at the door of hell. Kangaroos always have a rule for their reproduction. They adhere to it quite well, and to be able to develop the number of individuals in the herd. During the breeding period, the males in the herd will fight with each other for the right mate with the female. This is common in most species. Any conflict is not for food. It is also for the other half, the woman. The female kangaroos also don't pay much attention to the matches. It only needs good breeding to produce a healthy generation of kangaroo offspring. The male's instinct right from birth prompts him to practice fighting and explore the world outside his mother's bag. It enjoys the outdoors and appears to be less wary of large birds of prey, like an eagle or wild dog, that might pounce on it. Kangaroo babies is usually a naughty and intelligent child. When it realizes the danger that could take its life, it will rush towards its mother and then safely jump inside the bag that has raised it for 8 months of life. In the desert, boxing matches will happen regularly. Surrounded by many spectators and acquaintances, they just watch, without cheering or making any clear movement of support. Kangaroos will use his front legs to try and hit the opponent's head. But both in the fight know that being hit in the head is not an option for the kangaroo. As long as the central bastion is damaged, all other activities can be stopped, and the loser will have a very tragic end. Lonely for life. A kangaroo just a few months old, when it emerges from its mother's pouch, it is left with only occasional milk, and it will learn its first boxing lesson. In his spare time, his mother will teach him, but the upbringing from the family sometimes only contributes a small part to the true maturity of an individual kangaroo. Kangaroos of similar development ages will find each other to challenge, in addition to focus and to be able to attack the head. It also has to pay attention to the abdomen to perform powerful kicks. The kangaroo's hind legs have evolved to be able to jump, and its stocky tail helps it propel itself forward. Everything is always ready for action. A fierce kick from the opponent can rip out the remaining kangaroo's intestines. Fierce battles will break out when both kangaroos are equally talented. They cannot be the same first prize. Nature forces them to clearly distinguish victory and defeat, that the winner still has to do its important task. Kangaroos often fight for power and for the right mate. There have been many stories of kangaroos stepping into the ring to compete with humans. They also show talent like no other. Their tenacious health and tendency while living in the harsh, arid desert have brought them closer to the champion's trophy in the boxing world than any other opponent. They are hardy and have extraordinary willpower. The proof is that in the dry months, the ground does not have a single drop of water, and the ponds and lakes are all dried up, and no sign of life can be seen sprouting anywhere. The red kangaroos are the kings and have been very tenacious to pass this period. They know what awaits them ahead, but to be able to start jumping as far as 7 meters at a time and move to where the food source is still a dream. The dry season hasn't left them yet, but gone so quickly. The largest kangaroos in the world right after birth also show their extraordinary strength. They emerge from their mother's womb when they're still red and don't look like a kangaroo to get into their mother's milk bag. It has the drag among the thick fur and by its own ability to survive in a mother kangaroo's bag. Only regret is that when the food source is gradually exhausted, and in order to save herself, Mother Kangaroo will say goodbye to her children, one by one. Never before has the resurrection been as fragile as when dependent on the care of a mother kangaroo. But the cubs at the time cannot decide anything, but can only rely on fate. It has to drag among the thick fur by its own ability to survive. The male will have the ability to grow throughout his life. This is a special ability for species in the animal kingdom. A male kangaroo can average 1.8 meters tall when standing upright, and weigh from 45 to 90 kilograms. The female kangaroo weighs only 20 to 40 kilograms. The child also will be the one to take the most responsibility throughout its life, and she may lose her motherhood permanently if the dry season lasts too long. Its reproductive organs will stop working. Perhaps the survival instinct for kangaroos is one of the most powerful, and be able to withstand both the brutality of the climate and the environment right here in the deserts of Australia. Humans have the existence of kangaroo species since the 18th century. Then they brought it to the martial arts and became famous boxers who were watched by large numbers of fans. This happened continuously until the 20th century, when it stopped. The number of kangaroos today has grown, and it's much more popular, attracting many tourists to visit the sanctuaries where the appearances of this extraordinary animal. The fact that they take the time to practice boxing with their mother, or with other males in the herd, is the best way to learn meaningful lessons in life. all will follow them for the rest of their lives, and these stubborn boxers really deserve a warm applause from the audience. After the battles, though, there's someone who doesn't like all of these cheers, and that is the loser. The representative, respective of Australia, being an extraordinary animal of the Australian deserts, is none other than the kangaroo. Hopefully, with all of the information sharing and interesting stories about the boxing and the fights of the kangaroos, you will love and form a desire to discover more new things from nature. Good day, and see you in the next video.